Oh, shit. I thought I'd have a better voice than that when I started. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to a very, I guess, an extra early Die Party drawing board stream. Today, we are going to be unveiling the mystery that is Shadowrun Anarchy. Now, if you're not sure what this is, I wouldn't blame you. Shadowrun is a very complicated system. I throw it right up there alongside the great Cyberpunk 2020 in terms of complexity. There's a lot of weird things that go in that system. For example, you roll if you have any, issues holding plastic due to being, I just had the word in my mouth and now I've forgotten it. It's really complicated. It's a complicated system. It's very grindy. So a couple of months ago, they released this system called Shadowrun Anarchy, and it's based on the 5th edition version of Shadowrun. The difference being is that instead of it being like mechanics focused and focused on interlocking things, it is now based entirely around narrative structure. So narrative is what drives the system forward. What we're going to do today is we're going to look into that system, and with the guys, under the guise that we will be replacing our Thursday game, Polyrhythm, with an Anarchy game. I've already got all the players lined up, so that's not a problem. I just need to go through and do Anarchy. So a little bit of history myself. I've run the introduction scenario, I guess you should call it, for Shadowrun 4th edition. I want to say it was a couple years back. It was incredibly complex. It was my first real it was my first real introduction to GMing, and I remember it beating me over the head like a fucking like a drunk mule. So my beard is so fluffy. I guess so. It's getting there. So without further ado, wrong screen. That's the screen I wanted. Let's jump into it. So this is Anarchy. The official released PDF. It's the alternative rule set. So we're gonna go through them. Now, I sort of read a little bit about what this is. I went through it. The start is mostly just oh hey, look how much I know about blah. So we're just gonna ignore that for the most part. We're just gonna go down. Synchronicity. Okay, this is the like introduction, like story. You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm struggling to beat off an illness that my fiance so magically developed inside of herself. So it's great for me. So we're gonna keep skipping. All right. Oh, we're now at the introduction, but we can skip all that too. All right. All right. First thing you know about the Sixth World. Okay, this is the back end. Okay, this is the back end. The fluff of the system. That looks like Doctor Who in a strange, weird way. Struggling to beat it off. Yeah. The video games? Yeah, the video games were kind of dumb. Like, I didn't really like them because, from what I understood, like, I remember having problems with some of the characters, like, and the way that they, like, limited the powers. Like, they made it very video gamey rather than it just being like, you're a role-playing man. Do your role-playing things. Do you have a list of games planned where people can sign up? Not really. What I kind of do is I just kind of have space when I have space, I look to fill that space with games. So that's what we're doing now, you know. And the thing about this Shadowrun game, the moment I mentioned it, like literally a chorus of fucking like, I'll play, just surrounded me, and I'm just like, all right. Okay. Oh, you mean the oh, I remember. Yeah, the Shadowrun that was like a mix between PC and Xbox. I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that. That was a weird game. So this is, I guess, the corporations. Why do they front end this stuff? Wow, that's unfortunate. Black on black. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I'll immerse myself a bit more in this stuff, I guess. But what I want to achieve today is I want to get an understanding of how the system plays, like the beats, the main beats that we need to fall into. I also want to take a look at the Roll20 to see if there's any existing systems in line that we can use. I also want to go through character creation and see, just sort of make a character and see what we need to do there. Okay. Anarchy uses the D6. Okay. Before the games begin, choose or create a character. Got it. Design a game master. Yep. I love my favorite thing about these systems, by the way, is like how fucking dumbed down the introductions are, but then how complicated the actual games are. It's like, by the way, guys, one of you has to be the entire world. And I was like, well, I guess I could do it. I like reading stories. And then he just reads the fucking rules and he's just like, fuck. So, yeah. Select a contract brief. Okay. 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 Yeah, that's just a quick start. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. See page 153. Okay. Oh, well. Huh. Okay. Okay, so this is mostly just like, well, we're probably not gonna. It's this seems like the system is sort of like from the get-go, just like, okay, you want to play a mission, that's cool, but we're gonna do a bit more than that. We're gonna sort of immerse people in the world a little bit. That's a good question, Silver. No one actually knows how many cocks it takes. That's the ticket, you know. That's the ticket. Okay. All the cocks. All of them. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Character sheet. Okay. Illustration, personal data. The character sheet includes an illustration of the character along with personal data, name, meta type, age, and that sort of thing. It also includes the word tags that immediately provide an at-a-glance grasp of what defines this character. This section also includes a brief character description and some dispositions, which are easy to review sentences that make a character who and what they are. This information, along with cues and qualities on the second page, provide everything that a player needs to quickly get inside the head of their character and leap into the action. Okay. Attributes and attribute dice. All right. Well, before we get started on this, why don't we whip up Roll20 real quick and take a quick gander, take a quick squiz at does that show well? It does. All right. Start a new game. All right. Diet party. Shadowrun. Alright. Character sheets. Alright, let's take a look here. Shadow. Oh, they have Anarchy. They actually have the Anarchy system. Sweet. Alright. Nice. I'm ready to create the game. Let's take a look at this character sheet. You remember rolling like 12 of them? Yeah. No. Yeah. You're not wrong. That's what I remember as well. Okay. Alright, character. Alright, so interesting. Okay, you got armor of 12. Okay, that's an interesting. I'm sure this all makes sense in a second. Strength, agility, willpower, logic, charisma, and edge. Alright, so what I know is that, okay. Oh, cool. So, nice. Nice. Skill. Buttman. Alright, base. Let's say that this is an agility skill, and we'll put his agility to 4. His base would be... He's got 2 points in Buttman. He's got no modifiers. Okay. That's 66 greater than 5. Wow, really? It's greater than 5 on a 66? That's fucking insane. Hey, what up, Ragtag? How you doing? Huh. Okay. Weapons. Name. Booty Buster. Damage. I don't know. 12 dice. Close. Okay, so... How do you roll weapons? I guess you don't. Okay, cool. Alright. Well, that's not bad. Okay. Great. Well, that is considerably easier than I thought it would be. Roll initiative and it's 8d6. And you count the total, I guess. As weird as that sounds. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. Alright. Strength is not how... It's how strong you are. The represents your constitution, measure of your physical health. Resiliency. Strength determines your physical condition. Monitor. The amount of damage you can absorb as well as the amount of damage you inflict in close combat. If you plan on punching a lot, this helps you punch harder. Agility is how... not just about power, how you use it. Agility is a combination of hand-eye coordination, flexibility, balance, reaction, reflexes, and awareness of situation. Really? Awareness? They just rip it into agility? This attribute covers how good a person is in combat, whether range, close quarters, hand-to-hand, or even vehicle-to-vehicle. Willpower, with your slogging through muddy, ruined buildings in the barrens, while acid rain dissolving your coat. Do you plug along or go home to make some nice hot tea? Speaking about hot tea, I've got some right here. The great thing is how much you've cheered in the channel. So you can, if you click the little cog in the chat settings, you can turn that off if you like. Okay. Willpower helps determine the answer. It's a combination of your character's desire to push through the adversity under any condition, that gut instinct voice that anticipates an ambush or tells you when it's time to cut and run. Willpower determines how many boxes are in your stun condition monitor. I guess those boxes there would be the monitors right then. So if we take a look at this, these would be the monitors. Okay, so -1. Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. It actually like automatically takes care of things. So like you get 3 boxes and then once it's filled, it takes that off. Okay, so it's not like this one adds an extra +2. It just adds an extra -1. Okay. Just build up. Interesting. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. All right, easy enough to understand. Um. Okay. Which measures the amount of punches and other such damage you can take before sagging to the grind in a blink. Unconscious submission. Logic corresponds to mental faculties of the character, whether street smarts, learned science, or just plain inherent brilliance. Helps you quickly come up with an answer to the ever-present question: if you're so smart, why are you still on the streets? Charisma. You don't need to outshoot someone if you can talk them out of pulling on you. I got to get my lingo back in play. Charisma is your character's ability to talk their way out of a situation. Your presence as you walk into a room and take charge. Essence is in a technological world dominated by need to be faster and stronger to survive. Many people willingly carve away pieces of the meta-humanity to stay one step ahead of the bullet with their name on it. Essence is a measure of how much the character's meta-humanity remains. Oh, sweet. So they have like humanity or whatever. That's cool. And edge is a very special number for each character. Unlike other attributes, it does not correspond to a number of dice. Instead, it can be spent to gain some much needed help for a particularly difficult role. Edge only replenishes at the beginning of each game session, so spend it wisely. Okay, so that's like luck. Right. So, I mean, I'm just attributing it to Cyberpunk 2020 at the moment. Shadowrun, more like Booty Run. Yeah. Alright, so this is the part where it differs. So skills represent the knowledge and abilities a character has developed while running in the shadows. Sorry, I got a sore throat. I'm trying to... Yeah. Skills cover a wide range of topics, from ability to shoot a gun to hack a matrix system or keep a teammate from bleeding out. Skills work hand in hand with attributes when determining how many dice roll given for a test. Alright, so Shadow Amps is something new. If I'm led to be believed is correct. Goddamn, sorry. Sore throat. Alright, the Shadowrun universe is a dystopian future where man meets magic and machine, from casting spells to augmented physical attributes via magic to cyberware and bioware enhancing bones, flesh, and muscle, to chips that allow for bare-brained interactions with the worldwide matrix, to complex forms used by technomancers, a myriad of ways exist to augment flesh and blood. Shadow amps, short for shadow amplifications, often shortened even further to simply amps, represent those more human than human improvements and advantages. So they're just basically like cybernetics and stuff. Okay. Karma. In the sixth world, what goes around comes around. Karma is a measure of the experience and resources your character has accumulated for the good of or for the otherwise. Or what? For the good or for otherwise. Oh, okay. It is used to improve your character. Character advancement rules are not provided in this preview. Oh wait, this is a preview? Shit. Okay. I need to get the full version then. I thought I got that. A space is provided on the character sheet to keep track of how much karma your character has earned. Right. Cues. At the center of the sheet are the character's cues. Cues are statements or quotes that help define the character, whether it's attitude, capabilities, or personality. Each cue can help form the basis of a narration. Okay. Below the cues are qualities, which round out your character's personality and affect certain actions. These often build off character's disposition, providing concrete rules for how a character will react in various circumstances, whereas tags define what your character is. Each character has 3 qualities, 2 positive and 1 negative. Right. Okay, so this is where it starts to get a little like these rules are in place to make it more simplistic, but also less nuanced, I guess. I don't know. Yes, Shadowrun is like if orcs and elves and dwarfs suddenly got cybernetics in them. The actual story of Shadowrun, I believe, is you know, the world of magic dwindled, and then one day it just came back, and people just fucking metamorphed into fucking like orcs and shit. So like, yeah, it's just as gritty. Like, it's just gonna be just as gritty as Cyberpunk. It's just also gonna have an orc in there. So it's an interesting spin on it, I guess. All right. Weapons. Most Shadowrunners plan to stay alive carry at least one weapon. The weapons section lists the tools of the trade, the damage they inflict on a successful hit, and their range. In many instances, additional rules are included for the effects of the weapon. The armor track gives a number of armor dots the character has. Armor is a generic term that covers things like Kevlar jacket, military grade body armor, an armor spell, and extreme agility. Anything that might keep someone from being hit by an attack is in this category. If a skill or amp provides a permanent armor boost, as opposed to, say, an armor spell that must be cast, it will be reflected in the skill or amp text. Right. Armor helps absorb damage during combat. Okay, the condition monitor tracks define the character's health status. Once a character's armor or any spell, a shadow amp that acts as armor, has been depleted by damage, further damage will accumulate in the appropriate parts of the condition monitor. There are two types of damage, physical and stun, which are tracked separately. Different weapons and effects can either be physical or stun damage. As injuries pile up, the character will suffer negative performance effects. Interesting. So if we go back to the sheet real quick. Okay, so they both just so what, the 9, so he can go up to -3. So if I have more strength, if I have like 9 strength, okay, and if I have like 8 willpower, okay, that's interesting. So is that a total of how many dots I can have? So 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can have up to -4. That's an interesting concept. Does it go all the way to 10 then? 9. So 14. So maybe it goes up to 12 as the maximum? Okay. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Getting an idea. Gear. While a good Shadowrunner trusts her abilities, she also carries tools and supplies, which are listed in the gear column of the character sheet. Unlike weapons, gear in Shadowrun Anarchy has no set stats. Take a stim patch, for example. Sure, it could just be a standard painkiller, but what if right in the middle of escape, the GM drops a plot point to say that a stim patch a shadow man slaps on to overcome some wounds. What? Hang on. If a plot point to say that a stim patch a shadow man slaps on to overcome some wounds is from a bad batch laced with custom tailored street drug, what might happen? Okay. In such instances, the player will have to answer those questions during gameplay with clever narration. Gear falls into one of two categories. Non-combat gear, the stuff that's generally not used for killing people. What will Koi Dog use her schematic log materials for? Does she have anything personal on her Metalink comlink? Or is it just a cheap burner unit? Contacts. As the saying goes, you are who you know, and your contacts mean the difference between life and death in the shadows. The variety of contacts can help inspire unique approaches. Wait, why is that in the... So, the gear categories are non-combat gear and contacts. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, we're not gonna look too much into the skills because they are what they are. Yeah, they you know, you can just write them down. So, doesn't seem to be a lot of skills actually. Seems to be very little skills, in fact, surprisingly. Okay. Shadow amps are just amps as a catch-all term for certain advantages, spells, and modifications that benefit a character. Amps is an umbrella term for covering a huge swath of possibilities, from spells players can sling at opponents to body modifications that make characters stronger or capable of sustaining damage, to implants that make a character smarter. Almost anything is possible if you're willing to pay the price. How much like how skills supplement attributes, amps also enhance related actions by granting certain effects. For example, one shadow amp might allow rerolls of certain dice that failed to score a hit. Another might grant a bonus die in certain situations, and another might act like a cue to a narration instead of enhancing a dice roll, and so on. Right. Okay. A few examples of each type. Spells. Okay. Yep. Magicians can manipulate mana to cast spells. Character must be awakened to cast spells. The invisibility spell allows a player to reroll one dice that failed to score a hit on their sorcery test. And the improved invisibility spells allows 2 failed dice to be rerolled. How does invisibility... Okay, interesting. Talisman. Enchanted magical items that can impart special bonuses when bound to a magician. Weapon focus that has imbued melee weapon that can be used in astral combat. Okay. Okay. Adept powers. Instead of casting spells, adepts use mana to perform physical magic. The Killing Hand's adept power allows a player to deal physical damage instead of stun damage when using unarmed weapons in close combat. Okay, so that's just examples, right? So then there's cyberware. Okay, gives him extra attack action per narration. See, we're gonna have to look into this a little bit, like how it actually works. Bioware represents biological implants. Okay. Cyberdex programs. Useful matrix. Okay. Right. Essence loss. Medi shadow amps are most noticeably cyberware, and bioware implants require the character to trade away parts of their meta-humanity, and this results in essence loss. The more you push the boundaries of what your body can do, the more you lose your meta-humanity in the process. Not all amps include an essence loss, however. For example, many magical amps do not diminish your essence. If a shadow amp includes an essence loss, it will be noted in the portion on the character sheet. Okay. If a character's essence is too low to incur any penalties, is low enough to incur any penalties, the fact is noted on the character sheet next to the essence value. Low essence imposes dice pool penalty on hits on magic and healing related tests. Alright, so how does that show up in this? So where is essence? Essence is here. So if I put -2, does that do anything? Doesn't do anything. Penalty 2. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Playing Shadowrun Anarchy. Once each player has some dice and a character sheet, a contract brief has been selected, and a GM chosen, your group is ready to get started. Shadowrun Anarchy play is divided into a series of segments that build upon each other, turns and narration, scenes, missions, and campaigns. Turns and narration. Shadowrun Anarchy gameplay is divided into a series of turns. Each turn, every player has a chance to play out and describe their character's actions, along with other elements of the story going on around them. These descriptions are called narrations. As the game progresses, these narrations build on each other and form the story of the game. A narration gives a player a chance to describe what their character does, as well as add and describe other story elements. Other players may have things to say during a narration. Their characters may react somehow, or players may offer commentary, ideas, or observation, but the primary thrust of the narration should be directed by the player whose turn it is. The narration usually covers a few minutes of out-of-game time, and probably less in-game time, before moving to the next player. To keep things flowing quickly and giving everyone a chance to stay involved in the ongoing story, in combat... sorry, let me just get rid of this alarm. I was supposed to start right now, but I started early because I am a cool guy, and that's what cool guys do. No cool guys allowed on the internet, you see. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Where are we up to? In combat, a narration will typically last as long as it takes to execute a single combat action. In non-combat activities, the length of narration might be more variable. The general guidelines is for it to last for as long as the game needs to stay lively and keep everyone involved. Each turn begins with the GM and continues with the player on the GM's left until all players have had a turn. At narration, okay, this is really odd. Through the check the time, talk time slide bar, okay. The GM begins the turn by giving a narrative of the current situation and advancing the plot as described under Select a Contract Brief. The GM also makes any action or dice rolls for enemies and characters they may encounter. Okay. A scene is defined as a start and finish of a given section of time which within the contract brief. A scene contains a number of twists which vary depending on what's occurring within a given scene. For example, take a look at Be Careful What You Search For. Okay. Each 3 descriptions of the enemy's obstacles found in the event brief is a scene. There is no hard and fast rule on how many turns are in a scene. Instead, that there will be on how many players are involved, their style of play, and their narrations, which ultimately lead to how quickly or slowly they're able to accomplish their goals of a given scene. This is not what I thought this game was. I thought it would just be like a rules change for like how combat. Wait, there's a new Die Hard film? Fucking what? God damn it. The last one was awful. Can I just say that? Die Hard 4 was, or 5, I forget which one it was now, was fucking awful. Does it still have Bruce Willis at the front end? Contract brief usually constitutes a single game session, and a session ends when all the scenes within the contract brief are completed. The number of scenes required to finish an event brief is detailed in each event brief. This can be modified by the player group. For example, one player group may decide, after accomplishing 3 scenes laid out in Be Careful What You Search For, that the event brief is done, and the time running in the shadows is over for the day. However, another group playing the same contract brief might add in a 4th scene that helps close up some of the plot threads that grew through players' narrations, so they keep playing. I hate that. I hate that modern games these days are so focused on like, okay, here's a thing. You're only allowed to play within this thing. I'm not sure why that's the case. What up, James? What up, J Wall? How you doing? Giving a narration is quite easy. All players do is describe what her character is doing and engage, and such as engaging in a firefight, exploring the Matrix host, or summoning a spirit, as well as adding in some descriptions when it happens. So they're just making like a weird. They just described like, okay, it's your turn. What would you like to do? Like, it's so weird that they do that. If any action has a chance of failure, then the dice roll test is made to determine whether yeah. No shit. Many narrations are based on cues provided. Okay, cues are building blocks and players can use for the basis narration. Okay. Cues are both suggestions and descriptions that can be positive and negative and never have to be narrated in the same way twice. If a player draws a blank or wants to make sure that he's staying on topic, he can look at a list of cues and choose an appropriate one to base a narration around. Collaborative narration is about creating a story and moving it forward. Shadowrun Anarchy is about making impossible choices, facing terrifying challenges, and overcoming them in fantastic and fun ways. It is about saying yes to fun and not saying no to something unexpected. Yeah, okay. So when you are faced with the impossible, you smile and say yes, and then you make it up. There's no wrong way in Shadow. Well, that's good to know. Want to have the character swallowed by a magical alacra while running in the shadows of Los Angeles? Then do it. But be ready for the GM to have meta-planar entities show up and try to force you out. After all, the rule is yes, and respect the other player's choices. Don't use your narrative to make it overly easy way out of an impossible challenge. Okay. So, this is interesting because it's not what I was thinking it was. What's the first impression? It's not like it's interesting. If I look at this, right, I might like actually just like I'm looking at this and I'm like, huh, it might be better to actually just play standard Shadowrun. Mostly because it'll just be sorry. This throat thing is killing me. But yeah, I mean, like it's strange. Like the way it sort of plays out to me is like let's say we have a home base. This is the way I'm thinking this game would work. You'd have like a home base or like a base where the chummers hang out. And then the Mr. Johnson will show up and he's like, I've got these 3 missions for you. You can pick one or whatever. And then they pick one. And then I go, okay, sweet. Let me describe the scene for you guys. You're there. You've got all your weapons and stuff. And then you just go into it. Which is fine. But at the same time, then it's like, okay, I describe a scene, and then you guys just on your turn can describe how, like, there's a door with a laser beam on it. You can just tell me how you narrate past it, which is interesting. Oh, fuck this fucking throat of mine. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Yep, spot points, we get them. They're just weird things that you can spend. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's more improv, alright. Right. See, this is what I'm kind of interested in, because like if they narrate something that they want to narrate, it could be really awesome. But the game is sort of weighing it down a little bit as to how it goes. So basically, players get plot points that they can change the things with. God, I need to fucking fix that. Discord is like giving me like a million notifications every time someone posts something. So weird. So, you know, you can spend plot points to change things. You know, pretty standard stuff. Okay, Shadowrun Anarchy uses a simple dice rolling mechanic to resolve tests in Anarchy. Anytime your character or an acting NPC wishes to perform an action where success is in doubt, you need to make a test whether the action was successful. Your main job is to figure out how many dice you're going to roll, and then roll them and count up the hits. The game master decides on a difficulty for the roll, and rolls an opposing dice pool, or rolls an opposing dice pool generated by an NPC. After making your roll, apply any number of amp effects, counting up your final number of hits, and compare them to the number of hits rolled by the opposing dice. If your hits equal or exceed the hits scored by the opposing dice, then your action was successful. If you score 0 hits, the test automatically fails, even if the opposing dice also rolled 0 hits. This means that the mechanic for resolving all tests looks like this. Skill dice plus attribute dice plus modifiers, if any, plus shadow amps, if any, versus opposing dice. Okay. Interesting. I think right now, okay. Alright. Well, how about we do this? How about we make a character? How do we make a character? Actually, maybe we should go through and continue reading, because... Anarchy and 5th edition. Wait, how does this work? This book is all you need for many, many hours of Shadowrun awesomeness. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's like if you want to bring characters over, that's kind of cool. Okay, so they just have characters here that you just pick. How do we make characters though? Character creation. Alright. Alright, so let's do this. Let's make a character. Alright. Yeah, got the plaque. Yep. Okay. Create a character name. Yep, got it. Choose a game level. Okay. Follow the steps. Imagine you're a casting director of your favorite TV show, blah, blah. You need a short and flowable description of your character. Do you want to play the juiced up street samurai who follows the code and only fights for the causes you believe in? Or do you want to play a shaman who only sees spirits of his harmonious places that the urban scroll matter human? Okay. Okay, character name. Got it. Tags. Okay. While not a requirement for character creation, every simple character sheet includes a short list of one-word tags. And these tags are carried throughout most of this section of the book. They're designed to give a very quick look at the theme/style of what you're looking at. In the case of characters, tags define what a character is, as opposed to how a character reacts in a given situation. Determine the game level. Oh, cool. Alright. The player group should decide what kind of overall player level the characters in the game will have. Are you interested in playing jumped up gangers looking to carve names for yourself, or do you want to play veteran Shadowrunners with rap sheets longer than the populated Mississippi River? Or maybe you want to play somewhere in the middle. Alright. That's interesting. Why don't we do... Let's make a street runner character. Okay. So let's... Hang on, let me just real quickly... I'm going to... I like to snip things out of books and stuff to make it easy. Alright, let's just put that over there for now. Okay. Choose metatype. Seems like a simple choice, but your character metatype can shape several aspects of your character. Choose one of the following metatypes and apply the bonuses. Okay. Let's make an orc. No, let's make a human, right? Straight, basic bitch human. Okay, so. Name, Booty Buster. That's his alias. Metatype, human. So that would give him, what exactly? 1 edge, 1 skill point. Okay. Let's set everything back to 1. The purposes of this. We will remove that, and we remove that. Okay, alright. So, he gets 1 edge and 1 skill point. Roger that, big mama. 1 edge. 1 skill point. I don't know where to put the skill points, but we'll just done and done. Add 1 there. Okay. So he gets 1 skill point. I guess that's what that means, right? Yeah. Okay. Decide if your character is awakened or emerged. Some abilities and 6 spells are only available to the people who qualify for them. If you're not awakened, you cannot access mana and do things like cast spells, summon spirits, or enhance your physical abilities. If you're not emerged, you can't access the matrix solely with the power of your mind, meaning you do not have access to technomancer abilities. If you want access to both, if you want access to either of these areas, but not both, characters cannot be both awakened and emerged. You have to select that option in the step and pay the cost. Okay. And deduct 2 shadow amp points. Okay. Alright, so... Oh, I see. Interesting. So, if we were to... if we were to go awakened, we would remove 2 shadow amp points from here. So we would start off with 8. Now that's interesting. Radio. Hey, what up, Hilo? How you doing? Okay. So for the sake of this, let's make him a spellcaster. So we're gonna make him awakened. Boom. So that means he has 8. Perfect. See, you can draw on this thing too. It's kind of nice, actually. Okay, so assign attribute points. Based on the chosen game level, each player has a number of attribute points to assign to the 5 attributes: strength, ability, agility, willpower, logic, and charisma. Edge is a special attribute that is covered in the section Shadow Amps. It's not improved in this step. Okay, so you can't improve edge. Each attribute point equals 1 point for that attribute, and characters begin with all attributes set at 1. Okay, that means if you want a strength of 5, you assign 4 of your allotted attribute points to strength and increase the base of 1. If you're a metatype, if you have a metatype bonus to an attribute, you add the bonus to how many attribute points you spent. You add the bonus to how many attribute points you spent on that attribute. Okay. Okay. Cool. Alright. Attribute maximums. Oh, interesting. Okay. So humans can go all the way up to 6. Great. Good to know. Alright, so let's go back to Booty Buster here. So these are the 6 that we can put into, or the 5 we can put into. We have 16 points to spend. Wait. So is that just 6 in each point? Really? Oh no, no, it'd be missing some. Jesus. Okay, so there's 9 off the top. So let's just make everything. So 3, 6, 9, 12. 15. Yeah, so he has 1 left over. I guess, I don't know, willpower goes to 5. Yeah, alright, that just for the example, we'll do that. Okay, got it. Characters built. Your character's theme can help you decide how many points you attribute. The only restriction attribute point allocation is that no attribute can exceed the maximum of your character's meta type. Okay. Physical condition is based on strength attribute. Divide strength by 2, round up, and add 8. So many boxes do you get in? Okay, so that should be automatically filled out by Roll20 then. Yes, perfect. That is in fact the case. Great. Yeah, this is Shadowrun Anarchy that we're looking at. So, okay. Assign skill points based on the chosen game level. Each player has a number of skills points to assign. Pursue the list of skills on page 32 and choose a few of them that match your character's theme. Characters can only start with 5 skills. Should also select a knowledge skill. See below, which does not have a rating, thus does not cost skill points. What? Okay. Knowledge skills. These skills represent things your character might know in game. They can encompass a variety of subjects, including languages, the elven interests, sculpting, online gaming, rock bands, or professional knowledge, police, procedure, low gang info. Knowledge skills are not listed in the skills. You can create your own, use your imagination. So they're really broad. They are not given a rating. They typically do not add to dice pools. They should be used to further storytelling possibilities rather than a mechanism for tests. Okay. Once you've chosen your skills, distribute skill points until all of them have been assigned. There is nothing to be done with leftover skill points, so you might as well use more. Each skill point assigned equals 1 point for that skill. For example, if you want a close combat skill of 4, you assign 4 of your skill points to close combat. Okay. Okay. Skills must be assigned a minimum of 1 point, and the maximum value of skill during character generation is 5. Okay. Once those skill points have been allocated. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at page 32 then. This is page 64. Alright. Willpower. Okay. Let's do some willpower skills. And so we'll take conjuring. Where is that fucking thing? There it is. Conjuring. Alright, skill. Boom. 3, 4, 5. Alright, so he's got conjuring. And astral combat. Conjuring, Astral Combat. What else does he need to have? Maybe Athletics. And maybe... So those are will, right? So will. There's one. What's another skill? Firearms. Geez, firearms covers everything. It's kind of weird. Firearms. Alright, so one more skill. Let's say negotiation in charisma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Charisma. Alright. That's interesting. So now he has a total of how many left over? He has 8 skill points left over. Because he starts with 12, and because he's a human, he gets an extra 1, and he's already used 5 to put points in here. So, it's 8 left. So, I don't know, let's put 5 in that, so that's 4. That's right. So he has 3 points left over. Let's give him negotiation 2. So then he has 2 points left over. 2 in that and 2 in 2 in firearms. That's all his points. Great. Perfect. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What else is there? Let's see. Okay, page 64. Back to the character. Then he gets a knowledge skill. If you wish to narrow focus of skill with a specialization, choose a skill that determines specialization focus and apply a bonus dice to that skill for the focus. Choosing a specialization for a skill costs 1 skill point. Players begin with only 1 specialization, but further specialization may be attained through character advancement. Okay. What is it? What does the specialization do? Determine the specialization focus. Yeah, I've seen the Twitch beta. It was weird. Can be a specific type of spell. Okay. But I don't understand. Like, if I can... I guess theoretically speaking, what that means is I could take a point out of, like, say, athletics, astral combat here, and I could specialize. I don't know what conjuring spells there are, but hey, what up, Death? How you doing? Okay, these are the amps, so best items for your character's theme. Don't hesitate to add the mismatch amp. Okay. Okay. I'm a little confused how that works. Okay. Oh, these are shadow. Okay, these, okay. Shadow amps represent, excuse me, additional power that almost an augmentation and catapults your shadow runners the next level, average gutter trash. Here's where a much needed edge over the opposition. Like many aspects of character creations, the best shadow amps are those that fit your character's theme, but don't hesitate to add seemingly mismatched amp if it might give your character that unique feel you're looking for. You can add shadow amps in 2 ways, either by choosing one you like from page... Okay. 2 or 2. So you can create your own. Okay, that's what that list is for. Right, cool. This is what I wanted. Alright, magical amps. Spells. Each combat turn may one edge glitch die. I don't know what a glitch die is. Lightning bolt. Is conjuring just like throwing magic, I guess? I guess it would be, yeah. Alright, so let's say, he specializes in healing. Okay. Oh, okay. You re-roll 2 failed stealth dice, and that's what invisibility does. Interesting. Actually, let's make him, okay, So how many amps do I get? I get 8 amp points. Okay, so level is how much it costs, I guess. Because Awakened gives you... takes 2 off the top, and yeah, okay. So let's go with Physical Mask. Let's take this one. Alright. Amps. 3. Okay. So... Alright, so he's got 5 points left. So, okay, this is interesting. It's, Acid Stream. Analyze Truth. Okay, that seems good. Take that. Caster can determine whether or not subject is telling the truth. So he's got 4 points left. What's the most expensive amp that you can get? Adept. Okay. Firewire amps. Ooh, interesting. May reroll 1, 2, 3 dice on agility related rolls. Huh. Cerebral booster. Dynamic facial hair. Wait, why the fuck would that matter? Like, okay, that's interesting. They have like cosmetic only amps in this game. Muscle augmentation. But this is kind of cool because it essentially allows the characters to be whatever they want to be. You can have a cybernetic beard. Yeah. So they actually allow people to build their own amps in this thing, which is kind of interesting. To con rolls. What's a... Oh, the constitution rolls, I guess. Wait, is that what that means? There's no con. I'm guessing like con as in like... Is that a skill? Conning? Like... Yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh, cool. Aluminum bone lacing. So it only takes away one essence to have a level 4. So if I take aluminum bone lacing, 1, 2, 3. Aluminum bone lacing 3. He can reduce damage. That's interesting. So hold up. I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. Maybe we should go back to that page. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. So you can like essentially just build whatever you want. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me just read this real quick. Do not have natural armor, so they're not wearing it. If they're not wearing armor, they have no armor protection. Trolls, though, are thicker and sturdier than other meta types. They get +3 circles and meta type bonus. Okay. Armor comes at 3 levels: 6 circles, 9 circles, or 12 circles. So turn armor level 9. You don't need anything, but choose one of the basic armor types. Add to your gear list. To choose armor that is level 12 circles, subtract 1 skill point from your selected skills. Wait, so how does that get represented on this sheet? Oh, you just say what it is, what you doing there. Interesting. Yeah, so 6, 9, and then an extra 3 points of armor. I guess. Or wait, how the fuck does that work? So 6 circles, 9 circles, or 12 circles. To obtain armor value 9, need not do anything but choose one of the basic armor types and add it to your gear list. To choose armor that gives you 12 circles, subtract 1 skill point from your selected skills if you are choosing to specialize in heavy combat protection. Then you are less effective in other skills. To choose armor with 6 circles, give yourself a bonus skill point to compensate for your decreased armor. Oh, that's kind of cool. If you're going to travel armor light, it's clearly because you have some other skills to rely on. Some armor might be selected, such as shadow amps, to give bonuses besides straight protection. For example, chameleon suits give a bonus to stealth tests. Faceware may give a bonus to con tests. You see, it says con again. These pieces of armor should be selected as shadow amps with a base armor value of 9. In these cases, the armor value may be increased by 3 for an additional shadow amp point to a maximum. Oh, Jesus Christ, that makes no sense. Right. Okay. Well, that doesn't help too much in explaining that. Okay. So let's see here. So the thing that I'm not really understanding here. Okay. Reduce someone's essence. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. I understand how essence works now. So essence is like, if you like augment yourself a lot, you can be really strong. But when someone tries to heal you, it's going to be very hard for them to do so. Right. Okay. All right. So the thing that I'm looking at here is during there's an amp that gives me 3 armor. It gives me an additional 3 armor. Or it just protects me from 3 damage. Does that go away? Like, does the armor go away in combat? Like, can the armor be destroyed in combat? That's the one thing I'm looking at. Because if I was playing the character and I saw that ability, I'd be like, oh, so I just take -3 damage every single time I take damage? Fuck yeah, I'm taking that. Like, that just seems like... yeah, the way that this game is sort of describing how, like, it seems like a very sort of like Blades in the Dark style game, which, you know, I'm not a huge fan of. So what this probably might end up being is standard narrative setup for Shadowrun. Like, this is probably how I would run it. I would take the rules from this game because it seems super easy to understand. I'll take the rules from this game, like basically this dice versus this dice, and this is how your character sheets are lined out. And then we'd just play it like a normal sandbox game, right? Like, that's how I would run it because that's what I want to do. Not like, okay, here's your mission for the session, blah, 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 blah. That seems like a very like mouse guardy way of doing things. What up, Puggle? How you doing, man? Good to see you again. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So skill points, we've done that. Specializations done that. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go back to 202, right? So the thing that I want to look at specifically is, where was it? Aluminum bone lacing, right? It says reduce damage taken by 1, 2, or 3, depending on the level that you got. You know, depending on the amps that you have. The -1 essence seems fine to me. Because, like, see, the way that I look at this, right? Like, the more essence you remove from yourself to make yourself stronger, the harder it is for you to actually get healed. I mean, you're going to be a fucking bulldozer, right? You're making your character into a fucking bulldozer. But at the same time, it's going to be a lot harder for people to actually heal you because healing is done spiritually in Shadowrun. So when someone heals, they lock onto your essence and they heal your essence, which then mends your body and your mind. So if you have very little essence for a healer to latch onto, it makes it incredibly hard for the healing to be effective. So that's how I'm reading that. Just go to a mechanic. Exactly, right? So, okay, that's interesting. So, but maybe, okay, so this is kind of like the part that gets me here. Like, cyberware amps seem very, very strong. Like, very strong. Like, for example, here, control rig. Control vehicles by VR. +1 dice to vehicle actions. May re-roll 1, 2, or 3 dice on vehicle actions. -2 essence. Okay, that's really strong. That's really strong. All right, so let's go. Okay, let's go back to 64, and take a look at cyberware amps and building one of those, because I want to see how that actually works. Okay, shadow amp table. All right, so cyberware. Base cost 1 equals -1 essence. Okay, add effect. Okay, so let's read this. Shadow amps represent the additional power that, okay. Like many aspects of character creation, the best shadow amps fit the character's theme. But don't hesitate to add a seemingly mismatched amp if it might give your character a unique feel if you're looking for. You can add a shadow amps in 2 ways, either by choosing one you like from the list or by creating one of your own. The maximum number of shadow amps a character can have is 6. Okay, so you can't have any more than 6. Empty slots can be filled by purchasing new amps. Character advancement. Existing amps can be upgraded or replaced. The following rules cover how to add shadow amps to your character. Determine the base cost. Whether you're using a pre-made shadow amp or create one yourself, you must first determine its total cost. Consult the list of shadow amp pages on 202, and decide what type of amp you wish to add or create. Then consult the shadow amp cost table to find a base cost for that shadow type. This is the minimum shadow amp cost for. Okay, this is the minimum shadow amp point cost for the slot, and a simple functional description of what the shadow amp does. No rules text, such as those described in the added effects field in the table, are included in the base cost. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So you can like just upgrade an amp. You can just be like, all right, my lightning bolt now does extra attack, but it like costs like an extra amp slot or something like that. Fucking okay. All right, I can get down with that. And like maybe you have like cyber arms, right? These big beefy cyber arms. You're like, ugh. But it also like, let's see here. Can you add an extra? Yeah, like you can. Huh. You can essentially, okay, 1 point of reduction, damage reduction. You can add an advanced damaging magical effect. So may require approval of GM and other players. Okay, so let's say you have 2 fucking huge arms, big fucking gnarly, like I'm a fucking like a fucking claw arm digging machine that's just on my shoulders now, right? Because you're a big troll and you got these big fucking arms. Let's say that later on you upgrade your arms to like when you punch a motherfucker, you also electrocute the shit out of him. That's fucking cool because it actually has a system in here that allows you to upgrade however you want rather than just by a set number. Okay. All right. I'm starting to get into this game now. I can see why people would like this stuff. All right. Okay. You've convinced me, game. If this is how it works, then I'm in. I'm in. I'm good to go. I wasn't completely sold. Now I am. I can make a troll who punches a dude with electrical arms. That sounds good to me. His arms are basically just like power cables that he whips motherfuckers with. Oh yeah. See, this is why I love like the cyberpunk shit, because you just be like, anything you can come up with in your mind, you can just fucking throw it at him. Oh yeah, I like it. Okay. All right. But let's try and understand how the actual amp cost table works, because this is where the bread and butter of the game is. So far, I understand literally everything there is to know. The tags and the narrative stuff, maybe not so much, but I don't think we're going to rely on that stuff too much for the game. Okay, so limit 1 per character subjects with firewall. Okay, you can only have 1 cyber deck. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Consult and okay, then consult the shadow table cost to find the base cost for that slot type. This is the minimum shadow amp point cost for the slot and a simple functional description of what the shadow amp does. No rules text, such as those described in the added effects list and the table, are included in the base cost. That means the initial selection of the shadow amp is useful for story purposes, but not much else. If you're fine with the basic description and aren't concerned about adding additional effects, you can stop there. Add the shadow amp to your character sheet and then continue to spend points, okay? But if you really want it to be useful, the amp should do something, which we'll cover. Okay, determine added effects. Standard shadow amps with simple descriptions can function like cues during your narration. For example, a spell or an adept power with an interesting description might give you a unique idea how to tackle a problem, or a piece of cyberware that might let you approach something from a different angle. However, if you're looking for more than just a standard mojo for shadow amps, that's where added effects come into play. Added effects allow you to customize shadow amps beyond simple description. If you want to include an added effect, consult the added effects section of the shadow amp table cost table and add the appropriate cost to the base cost of the shadow amp. Once you've added all the desired effects, determine the total cost and allocate that many shadow amp points to that shadow amp. If an added effect turns a shadow amp into a weapon, an implanted cyberware weapon, for example, make sure to list in the weapon section of the character. Okay. Determine essence effects. Each character starts with an essence of 6, and cyberware or bioware shadow amps reduce the character's essence according to the shadow amp's essence cost listed in a shadow amp cost table. A character can never have an essence of 0 or lower than 0.5. The lowest available essence, if a player wishes to add, 0.5 is the lowest available essence. If a player wishes to add a shadow amp whose essence cost would reduce a character to an essence of 0 or lower, the shadow amp cannot be purchased. Character's essence value has the following effects on gameplay. So, yeah, anything under a 6, and magic is more effective on them, and attempts to heal is, yeah. Note on shadow amp level. Count up the number of points on shadow amp and write that number in the upper left corner of the shadow amp box. This is what the shadow amp level is needed to calculate the upgrade cost in the future. Okay. Convert leftover shadow amp points to edge point. Okay. Alright, so we have this guy here. He has 8 amp points, right? So let's go and dick around with booty butts and see what we can come up with. So his amps. Alright, he's got that psychic mask. So that takes off 3. He's got the analyze truth spell. That makes it 4. So he's got 4 points left over that he can fuck with. Hey Tice, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So let's see about what we can actually build here with 4 points. So let's go to 202. Let's give him like fucking robot arms, because why the fuck not? Okay. Okay. Cyber arms. Okay. Control rig. Aluminum bone lacing. Reduces damage taken by... Okay. Alright, so... Let's give him... Let's make this a 2 rank. No. Let's make it a 1 rank. Aluminum bone lacing 1. Man, let's just copy this whole thing. We'll make it aluminum bone lacing 1. Aluminum bone lacing 1. Okay. And the level is currently 2. Okay. Cyberware. Reduce number taken. Alright, so let's now look into how we can modify that, because we've got 3 points left over. So let's take a look here. Alright, so cyberware -1 equals 1 -1 essence. Okay. Wait, he's got cyber arms? Was it plural? Aluminum bone lacing. Okay. Why does it cost 2 points then? Oh. That's interesting. Is it BioWare? What is this? Hang on. I'm a little confused now. I'm getting myself confused with these rules. Cyberware. Lunar bone lacing. It costs 1, but the amp level is 2. How does that make any fucking sense? Alright, I don't understand why. Okay, so that's the one thing that doesn't make any sense there. I'm guessing that's the total because it also has damage reduction on there. So yeah, okay, so it's got cyberware, -1 essence, and then it's also got damage reduction, and then you add an additional cost per point of reduction. So that's why it's 2, right? Because by default, to have the cyberware costs 1, and then you add another one for a point of reduction. All right, so then we can add an additional effect. Like, it doesn't have to be more damage reduction. We can add, say, a magical effect, or let's say he can have damaging effects. So let's say you know what? Let's go a little crazy here. He's a magical user. He's got bone lace. Like, he's a fucking Wolverine, right? He's like, yeah. Hey, bub. So he's going to take an armor-piercing damage with a spell because he can use spells, right? It's going to increase the cost by 1. So not only does our dude have the ability to reduce damage... hang on, let's move that down there. Removes damage by 1. And he also has apply. Like, maybe he shoots skeletons at people. I don't fucking know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or maybe he has to grab them. Maybe he grabs them and he can, like, do spell damage, like a grab attack. But it's a spell. So I guess the difference here is, like, spells, yeah, armor piercing. Yeah, so maybe his attack is armor piercing and he can, like, throw it or something like that. I don't know the actual, like, the narrative. Narratively wise, you would decide that ahead of time. But I'm guessing that armor piercing would be like a... Because it also increases his essence removal when he has it. So the amp cost would go up by... the amp cost would go up by... apply armor... piercing damage. Nice. 1 by +1. Does that mean it ignores armor? I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah. So, and that increases the actual cost. So. I go up by 3. And I don't think it increases the... It doesn't increase the essence cost. It just increases the amp cost. Because the first level is where you get your essence cost, right? Otherwise, it'd be, like, really fucking stupid. Because you can only ever have a total of 6 amps, right, on your character at any time. But you can... So how does that actually work then? Because if... Okay. Okay, so everyone had 6 essence and you just take away from that, I guess. So his essence would be 5. Which puts his penalty at -1. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Spell slash DMG Redux. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I see how it works. So you'd rather like that. Interesting. So that would actually go up here, like that, and you'd have the 2 lines. So that would be. All right. That makes a lot more sense now. Okay. That looks good to me. I like it. Does 6 amps only mean that yes, that's exactly what it means. So you can only ever learn 6. I'm wondering if that's like a rule that I can change here. Okay. Yeah. Same. The headset. Okay. The maximum number of shadow amps a character can have is 6. Empty slots can be filled by purchasing new amps. Amps can be upgraded or replaced. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting because it seems like your characters can only ever have 6 of them, but you can replace them at any point with new spells. So it doesn't like, but the thing is also there's no real cost to using them. You just kind of have them available at all times, which, you know, if you had like 10 of them instead of 6, that would be a huge advantage. So I can understand why that's like that. So that's not bad. I mean, I'm okay with 6. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like this. Okay. I like it. Well, no. Right. So the next part, he's spent. All right. So out of all of his sheet, how much stuff has he spent now? 3, 6, 7, and he had 8. Alright, he can get another amp then, I guess, so 202. Something that costs 1 level. Clairvoyance. The caster can see distant locations if they were there. Fuck it, man, that sounds good. We'll take that. Thanks. Thanks. Easy peasy. Amp level 1. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. This seems really cool, actually. I don't mind this at all. It's a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Weapon, Bone Pierce. Skeleton Punch. That's what we'll call it. Skeleton Punch! Damage 1. Close. I don't know how this is supposed to work, but yeah. Okay. Cool. I like it. Free amateur porn 24/7. Imagine the amount of people you could see. Yeah. I think it's just like distant locations. I don't know. Yeah, it's it's an interesting thing. But here's the best part about spells and adept stuff is that you could literally just fucking make like whatever you want, right? Like, see this spell here, right? It just has an effect. It just has a narrative effect. So, if you were to make it, right? If you were to go in here and say like, I want to make a spell, I'm like, cool. What do you want to make? I was like, I want to make a spell, and you can just say for 1 cost. Yeah, I can tune in my I can activate a spell to allow me to see the astral plane. Boom. Right? That's it. That's the spell. You spent 1 amp on that. And then you could like go and okay, I want to be able to use the astral plane to push my hand through a door and grab something on the other side, right? I would say, okay, all right, well that would be like probably another effect, right? So make a spell to talk communicated with doggos. Yeah, pet pals. Yep, that's it. Cool. That seems really good. All right. I'm into that. Okay, so we did that. Anything from 5 to 3.5 and then -1. Upper left hand corner of the shadow amp box. Is there a total that I'm missing somewhere? Oh no, yeah. No, that I mean this sheet seems pretty fucking easy to understand. I'm not sure what qualities and plot directives do, but we'll find out in a second. We're still going through the character creation. Convert leftover amp points to edge points. Each character starts with an edge of 1. If a player does not spend... Okay. For example, if a player is a prime runner and they choose only spend 12 of their available 14 points. Okay, so that's cool. Let me just real quickly run up here. I want to take a look here. How high can edge get for each? Okay, so maybe 6 is the maximum, I guess. Doesn't say. Okay. Right. Add qualities. Each player must choose 2 positive qualities and 1 negative quality for their character. Positive qualities generally add 1 dice to a skill, though they can offer a myriad of other possibilities. Positive gameplay bonuses. Negative qualities generally subtract dice, but they can also double penalties or cause a number of negative gameplay challenges. When choosing qualities, you can either pick one from the sample character sheets or you create one. To create a quality, choose whether you want it to be positive or negative. When providing a bonus dice, sorry. When providing a bonus dice, positive qualities add 2 dice. When providing a dice pool penalty, negative qualities subtract 2 dice from a skill, shadow amp, or other effect. You get more creative if you want. But adding and subtracting 2 dice is the most straightforward way to make a quality. Alright, 204 for example. So let's take a look at what they've got in here so we can get an idea. Oh, dude, whoa. Yeah, there's totally drone amps and shit like that. Nice, man. Drone vehicle mounted grenade launcher. Acts as a weapon, but only provides additional... Okay. Gear amps. Interesting. Oh. I don't know what critter amps do. Animal control. Mundane animals in near range are base simple commands, limited to a swarm of tiny creatures, 3 dozen small creatures, 6 large creatures. Oh, wow. Dragon sorcery. Dragons may choose... huh. Positive. Okay, ace pilot. Ambidextrous. Animal empathy. So there's a lot of animal stuff in this game. Oh yeah, there's a lot of qualities in here. Allergy. Specify. When affected by allergy. Distaste for violence. Okay. Gremlins. I don't know what a glitch die does, but that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna look that up. There's probably something up here about it. Oh yeah, you get like sin stuff. All right, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah. Okay, so these are the weapons. Interesting. Whoa! Asylum Escapee. Jesus, man. Thank you very much for the sub, dude. Welcome to the cockpit, my man. Still waiting for the sound effects to come in, or else that would have been a lot more fucking like in your face and stuff like that. But Jesus, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the emotes and stuff like that. So, feel free to spread my cock and now your cock. We have a shared cock. You know, you and me. That's what's going on there. Feel free to spread that everywhere. You were a sub for a while? Nice. Well, welcome back. Oh, right. Yes. No, of course. Yeah. Shit. Does it I've never, I've subbed to one person, but I've never not been subbed to him. So, does it like restart your subscriber level? I've always wondered that. Oh, cool. Yeah. So it actually states here that it just removes skill points. I need to look up armor again. Yeah, I'm not so convinced how that works. So 3, 6, 9, 12. So what are these extra ones here for then? Just extra armor, I guess. But you could theoretically like just have a lot of amps that remove armor. Oh, I have to share your cock? Well, think of us as like Siamese twins. I just happen to know when you're jerking off now, that's all. What have I bought myself into? If you don't resub within 3 weeks of ending the sub, it resets to the next sub time. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, welcome back all the same, man. Okay. Nice. Okay. Well. Easy peasy. Okay, let's, okay, and then it just goes down the index. Okay, that's interesting. So that character creation stuff is not so bad. So I want to work out what plot is. So, okay, so we have the negative traits here. All right, we have qualities, positive, positive, negative, and then plot directives hasn't really been explained too much. Yeah. Well, there's also board games with Beta Bros today, Feral, as well. So that starts at 7 p.m. my time. So you're not going to miss out on a lot. So. All right, cool. I actually like this. I'm not entirely sure how. See the thing that when it comes to me running this game, I'm looking at it like from a perspective of, do I want to run it as a sandbox? The answer is generally yes. I just have to sort of immerse myself a little bit in the actual Shadowrun world. But we should get an idea of where. Okay, so determine game level. Okay, we should get an idea of what the players actually want to do first. So we'll be doing that next week for the most part, around this time. Well, I mean, like the Bible stuff is what's the most interesting for me. Like Shadowrun has this entire like corporate synergy world thing going on, and I want to take advantage of that because it means that I have to do a lot less work. But when it comes to like the nitty gritty of it, I mean, sure, the big leaps are going to be there, but I'm not gonna be like, okay, you can't go in there because this room doesn't have an elevator. I'm like, oh, fucking man, of course there's a fucking elevator. Go for it. You know, like there's going to be, yeah. Okay. See, refereeing, okay. Players enjoy a lot more control of their narration. Take one. See, I feel like this whole book, right, is basically saying, hey guys, why don't you help the GM out by suggesting things? And I have a feeling that Shadowrun was like, it seems like the people who play generally Shadowrun, i.e. not me, they expect the entire world to be completely detailed and set in concrete, and the GM just sort of navigates what's going on in there. I'm the type of guy that says, do you think they'll probably, I mean, there's probably cars down here, right? And they're like, yeah, I guess so. Like I've always had that as the way that I'd done it, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like they're asking me to do the thing that I've been doing for a long time. Okay. Okay, so here's some actions that I can do. If a weak or injured character is successfully hit by a combat action, then a player can spend a plot point to take the hit instead. Okay. That's interesting. So, double time it. Take 2 movement options. Okay. Heal a point of physical. Okay. So these are how you spend plot points. So a glitch die. Glitch die can be used, but it's no longer applied to the players. So the GM can still apply it as they feel appropriate. Instead, the players can pay a plot point to include glitch die in one of their own rolls in hopes of getting an exploit. I don't know what the fuck a glitch die is. Oh, so it's like a gamble? Alright, hang on. Let me read this. 39. Okay. Glitch die. If the glitch die comes up 1, the glitch die has occurred. The universe has once again attempted to screw you. In the event of a glitch, the player who made the roll must detail their stroke of bad luck in their narration. Okay. Okay, let's glitch die and exploits. Even when Shadowrun is going right, sometimes a quirk of chaos manages to worm its way in and make things go really south really fast. Or provide just the lucky break you need. In Shadowrun Anarchy, game masters and players can represent this manifestation of fate, or whatever they want to call it, by introducing a glitch die into the roll. To use the glitch die, the GM or a player must spend a plot point before a roll is made. The player spending the plot point gives the rolling player a die that is not noticeably different from the other dice being rolled. That is noticeably different from the other die being rolled. This die can be a different color, size, or style, whatever the player prefers. If the glitch die comes up 1, then the glitch has occurred, and the universe has once again attempted to screw you. In the event of a glitch, the player who made the roll must detail their stroke of bad luck in their narration for the attempted action they were rolling. For example, a player who glitches an unarmed close combat roll could miss a kick and fall. A glitched hacking test could accidentally delete the wrong file. A stealth test could draw attention of a corporate security hellhound. A firearms action could jam the gun and so on. A glitch could still occur even if the test itself was successful, thanks to other dice rolled. For example, if you're trying to make a flying dive into cover and you succeeded in the gymnastics test but rolled a 1 on the glitch die, then maybe you dove for cover successfully but land wrong, jam your elbow on the ground and take 1 point of stun damage. Or maybe you glitch on a successful hacking test and perhaps the file you need, but trip security in the process, right? Regardless of how the glitch occurs, it shouldn't be life-threatening unless the affected player wishes it to be, for the sake of drama. Instead, the glitch should represent unforeseen complication that really shows the spanner in the works. The best glitches can help move the story forward in new and interesting directions, so feel free to let your creative flag fly in the face of bad luck. If it rolls a 5 or 6, then it counts as an exploit. When the exploit occurs, the player has made a fate their plaything, and something went really right for a change. This windfall of good luck can take any form the game master deems appropriate for the action taken, such as bypassing the target's armor during the combat action, stumbling on incriminating matrix file, and a spirit suddenly and mysteriously backs down, and so on. Okay. Okay. So how do you actually apply them? You just say whether you want them or not? Okay. You spend a plot point. So it's like a gamble. So you have a 2 in 6 chance of getting a good success, but a 1 in 6 chance of fucking up and making things worse for yourself. Hey, Storyteller Spire, thanks for the host. Alright, catch you later, Farrell. Have a good one. Alright, well, I think that's pretty much it. Like, this system seems pretty sweet. Seems pretty sweet. I would probably just run a normal game though. So okay. The main goal in making any dice rolls is to score hits and rolling dice. Okay. Counts as hits. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. 2 types of occasions where you might exclude skill dice from a test and only roll attribute untrained. Try a specific skill, but you're untrained in that action, i.e. appropriate skills not in your character sheet. Then determine what the linked attribute is for the missing skill. Use attributes for the dice for the test, such as magic-based actions. Untrained actions cannot be taken. Okay, so magic-based ones, you can't do it. If a skill cannot be used untrained, it's not on the skill list, sorry. Okay, attribute only tests. Some tests only apply to a specific attribute and don't need a related skill. In those cases, either add 2 attributes together or 1 attribute to itself. For example, lifting a heavy object would require strength plus strength test. Okay. Catching a thrown object would require agility plus agility. Resisting torches, willpower plus body. Remembering specific detail, logic plus logic. Okay, that makes sense. One of the more common tests of this nature is perception, which is logic plus willpower. Okay, I saw that on the sheet. Was that actually predetermined? Okay. Logic plus willpower. Yeah, 9. Okay. Wait, what's defense then? That's interesting. Perception. Okay, when a character is looking at objects, the opposition is rolling the game host ideal. And the difficulty of the roll. Per the listing of opposition dice of the page. Okay. So where is the opposition dice? Game Master might impose additional modifiers based on variable conditions. Okay. Should never go beyond a +5 or a -5, and the highest or lowest level should be only applied very rarely, right? Opposing dice. Okay, this is where we need to go. In some cases, the opposing dice are determined by making dice pools of an opposing player. For example, a non-player character is being attacked. They will roll defensive test of agility plus logic, just like a player character. Okay, so defense. Is logic plus agility plus logic. Okay. In other circumstances, there'll be an opposing dice pool from another person, like when a player character is trying to climb a wall. In those cases, the number of opposing dice that are rolled depends on the difficulty of the action. Very easy. Okay. So average is 8 dice. That's kind of cool. Different circumstances generally dictate certain difficulty level. For example, a maglock securing a back door of a mom and pop store would certainly fall into very easy difficulty of rolling only 4 dice against the player's pool, but a maglock on an ultra security Mahama Zero Zone would be very hard. Okay, that's this game is going to be so easy to run, guys. It's going to be so fucking easy to run. I can't believe it. The thing that I'm going to have to learn the most, though, is I'm going to have to go through and learn about, like, maybe read a Wikipedia entry or something like that about, like, the Shadowrun lore. Maybe go through this book with a bit of a fine-tooth comb, maybe, and sort of come up with a world, I guess, and put some mega corporations in it and stuff like that, and just go from there. See if I can find something in there. So that's interesting. Combat. Okay. Combat is when 2 bash heads, people face money in combat. It works similar fashion to other tests, regardless of how action is, regardless of whether the action is ranged, melee, magical, or otherwise. The attack resolved in the same way. The basic dice rolling mechanic for combat is skill dice plus attribute plus modifiers plus shadow/amp weapon effects versus agility dice plus logic dice plus modifiers plus shadow amp effects. Okay. So agility plus logic is defense. As shown, combat is straightforward. Contest between attackers and defenders hits. If the attacker equals or succeeds the defender's hits, then the defender takes damage. The difference between the defender's hits and defender's hits is called net hits. It's added to the damage of the attack. If the attacker rolls fewer hits than the target, then the attack fails and inflicts no damage. Okay. Alright, well that's cool. So let's say, okay, modifiers. With the test rolls, combat rolls can have a variety of additional situation modifiers added, all of which are decided upon by the GM. Certain spells, range penalties, and environmental effects are common modifiers seen in combat rolls. In addition to those listed on page 37, here are the common modifiers that apply to combat rolls. Weapon dice, okay, bonus dice. Range incurs penalties. See weapon on this page. Some shadow amps can be used in combat, and some weapons have additional effects, such as allowing the re-roll of dice. Okay. Make sure to apply relevant effect before comparing hits with the opposing dice. Only the weapon used and 1 amp can affect the roll's outcome. Only the weapon used and 1 amp. 1 amp, not multiple amps, can affect a roll's outcome. If 2 or more M's could apply to the combat roll, you must choose which effect applies. So if I have the bone lace that reduces damage, and I have a thing that allows me to re-roll ranged attacks, I have to pick which one it is. That's kind of interesting. That makes a lot more sense now. In combat rolls, if the defender possesses any amps that apply to defense, such as a type of reaction, enhancer, or the physical adept missile parry, those effects get applied to the defender's roll before comparing hits. Okay. A character can only take a single action during their narration. What is an attack action? An action that incidentally and directly damages another living being, including NPCs, critters, spirits, whatever. Want to have a debate on the meaning of attack beyond that? Have fun. Okay, reaction enhancers. The notable exception to this rule are the various type of reaction enhancers. For example, wide reflexes increases reflexes spell, allow character to take a bonus attack action. Okay. Seizing the initiative, page 44. Okay, Okay, ranges. All weapons listed in 3 range brackets. Close, melee weapons, unarmed combat, near, range weapons, and far. Each range bracket on the weapon listing can have 3 possible notations. Okay, we use at this range without penalty. Negative X, and negative can't be used at all. Okay. Right, that makes sense. Which is why those 3... If you go back to the sheet here, the skeleton punch, it would be okay. Near would be like, I don't know, -2. And far would be like, nope. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Mm-hmm. There are no precise definitions for close, near, and far ranges, mainly to prevent the game from being bogged down in specific measurements. The basic definition is that close is within sword reach, melee weapon. Okay. Near is further than that, going far enough outward that you'd reach limits of pistols. The range is around 100 meters. Okay, yeah. Far is anything above that, around half a kilometer. Okay. Your strength determines the damage you do when entering unarmed combat. The damage you inflict is stun damage equal to half strength. Okay, round it up. So, strength divided by 2. Some shadow amps may increase this damage or turn into physical. Okay, cool. Carry limits. Character sheets have 6 slots for weapons, so that's generally how many characters can have. If they want to have more, they'll figure out the way to list them. Okay. Doesn't require players to keep track of things like ammunition, shots fired per turn, firing modes, reloading speeds, and so on. This is an action movie. Okay, great, perfect. It doesn't assume weapons have other effects beyond straight up damage. Okay. 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 Less lethal players group understand. Character movement. There's no hard and fast rules for walking, running speeds, weapon ranges are abstracted. This places the focus on the story and action. In many circumstances, the range is just approximations. Game Master can provide a ruling of the current ranges and the players can move on. There are times, though, when more tactical movement may be needed. So here are some rules for closing or expanding ranges in such situations. Movement is based on 3 different range brackets. Okay. Movement from close to near or near to close requires a single movement on foot. Moving on foot from near to far or far to near requires 3 movements. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Uh-huh. The player uses a movement to get close. The NPC does the same. That's 2 movements. Okay, it's just whatever. Circles. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, condition modifier. Damage. On every character sheet, there's a weapon column that lists the damage stated with the damage value. Whenever a character takes damage, the damage from the weapon is first applied to the armor column of the character sheet. Once all circles are marked off, damage then begins to apply to the condition monitor. If that happens, it's time for some serious heroics before the true disaster strikes. Okay. When the first row box is filled, character... Okay, yep. Character cannot simply move anymore. Knocked out. Kill in action. Physical track only. Cool. Okay. Regaining armor condition. Fortunately, there are many ways to repair armor and heal physical stun damage. A player could spend a plot point to regain a circle of armor. So when it says circle... let me just... Whenever a character takes damage, the damage from the weapon is first applied to armor column of the character sheet. Once all armor circles are marked off... Okay, so I guess the circles means the boxes, right? So it's weird that they call them circles. Maybe we'll get a better sheet if we take a look at the character sheet real quick. Oh, yeah, okay. I see how that works. Right. Cool. Makes sense to me. Okay. Okay, yeah. Comments. Oh, cool. So this is, we get in a little more detail about hacking and stuff like that. Okay. Yep. Seizing the initiative. Light reception. Okay. To accomplish these kinds of feats, the many characters have shadow lamps that improve their reaction and give the number of plot points at the beginning of each scene. Help them in combat and may make these speedy characters more likely to perform actions such as take a hit or dish best save called. See page 52. Okay, there's more actions. Immediately take 1 free action against an NPC. Okay. So how do we get plot points? Interesting. Okay, yeah, so, you know, there's like, using plot points can do things super quick, right? Alright, so plot points are going to be a big part of this game by the sounds of it. Which is fine. Great. Okay. Oh, so when you die, you just remove stuff. Okay, that's kind of cool. Permanently reduce the total physical and sun condition boxes by 1. Spends all but 1 of their plot points to avoid being killed in action and suffer no further effects. Okay. That's kind of cool. So they're probably going to be taking a lot of damage by the sounds of things. So, okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. So 70 is character advancement. Karma players may advance their characters by accumulating karma. Karma influence, blah blah. Gameplay. Every time a player finishes a contract, their character earns the amount of karma described in the contract brief. At the completion of a contract, the game master may award a bonus point of karma to any player who felt like they demonstrated extra cleverness, humor, bravado, and other positive qualities in the course of their narration. Okay. After noting accumulated karma points in successful contract, players can spend the karma in the following ways. Improve attribute, skill, add a shadow amp, remove negative quality, improve armor. Okay. Immediately improve logic 4-5. Okay, improving it. Okay, so they actually describe everything. Oh, so maybe earlier when it said that you'd need the full book to see it, maybe the book ends at a certain point. Right. Okay, that makes sense. That's weird that they would have that in there. Anyway. Okay. Removing it. Okay. Remove a negative quality, pay 6 karma, detailing the story how you overcame the negative quality of group. This option should be used with caution. While removing a negative quality may help a character mechanically, it removes some great storytelling options. Okay. Never increase your rating more than 12. Okay. Cool. You spend karma to buy gear. Okay, that's interesting. Customize weapon. Oh. You can customize gear. Neato. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much wraps up this whole system. I mean, it seems very simple. Like, it's a very simple system. What it's going to come down to is me just learning about everything that's going to go into the world. So I'm going to have to maybe do one more of these streams. And maybe we can go over like building the world and stuff like that. But you know, I think next week what we'll actually do is we'll sit down and make characters, and maybe we can do world building at the same time. I'll just do some reading off air or something like that, and we can potentially go through what the players want to see. My God, my eyes are so bloodshot. Look at that, crazy. That's what happens when you get a lot of sleep. So yeah. That's what's gonna happen. I think we're gonna just detail that out next week. I don't know what the name of this game is gonna be, but we'll come up with something by the next week. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Die Party Drawing Board. It has been a fucking great experience to sit. Like, it's so nice to come into a system that like has like complexity and like the availability for people to customize their characters to an extreme amount, but also has like a rule system built in to make it super easy. So I'm excited to play this game. I really am. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't already done so, consider following the channel. And if you're feeling saucy, why not subscribe? Get access to the cockpit and the best emotes on Twitch. Going forward, today we actually have an episode of Die Party Drawing Board. Not sorry. Board Games with Bitter Bros Regrowth. That's at 10 a.m. PST on Friday. So I don't know what time it is right now in America, so you're gonna have to excuse me in that. And we're also going to be playing, attempting to find the best fishing. We're on a fish quest right now. We got to find the best fishing game we can. We looked at Stardew Valley yesterday, and today we're going to look at, or tomorrow. Time is weird. Well, in the daily stream for Friday, we're going to look at Black Desert Online and see what we can do there. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. Excited to play this game, and we'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Bye-bye.